Am I obsessed with my phone? Hi friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I need to put down my phone and pick up the books on my August TBR. So I'm gonna challenge myself over the course of this coming week, and it begins with checking my screen time, and I want you to do this with me. I'm gonna focus on how many pickups I had. I've also seen people swapping screen time with reading time, and that actually sounds like a really fun challenge. If you would like to see me do that, let me know in the comment section down below, and maybe that will be a future video. And since I'm doing it for a week, I'm gonna go back a week. So to check your screen time on an iPhone, you go to Settings, Screen Time, see all app and website activity. And then you can also see like your most used apps there, but it will tell you like daily or weekly, the date, how much time, what apps you've been using. But if you scroll down a little bit further, it tells you your pickups. And I'm gonna do this for 1 week. So I'm gonna go back to last Saturday, August 16th. So I also, if you're checking your screen time, I want you to let me know in the comment section down below how many times that you picked up your phone on August 16th. I had 79 pickups. So that means that I have to read minimum 79 pages today. I'm currently reading the Martha's Vineyard Beach and Book Club by Martha Hall Kelly, and I'm on page 105. So to get 79 pages read, I need to read to page 184. I should be able to do that quite easily because I'm really enjoying this book. There's two different timelines, 2016 and 1942. We have 3 different perspectives, I believe, and the writing is just descriptive in the best way possible. It's set around the war, it's set on Martha's Vineyard, obviously, and I'm just really enjoying it and enjoy the ride. The goal of this challenge is obviously to become more aware of my screen time, but also just to mood read throughout the week. I recently picked up a copy of this Flow magazine, and one of the first articles inside was talking about screen time, step away from the screen. And I thought that that would just be a really appropriate way to kind of like tie in my screen time with some mood reading and share the results with you. So I really love this magazine and I really love this article. It has some questions to ask yourself, really beautiful art, and it just has some really good information that I thought that maybe I can share throughout the challenge. So stay tuned for those hints and insights, but let's go ahead and get started with our reading. All right, I'm starting on page 105, chapter 11. I'm gonna go ahead and get some reading done, and then I will check in with you tomorrow. Hello, happy Sunday. I'm here to report if I was able to read 79 pages from yesterday. It's Sunday, so we need to check my screen time and my pickups for last week. But I also want to update you on this book because I crushed the 79 pages and I just kept reading. So to read my 79 pages, I needed to make it to page 184, and I actually made it to 220. So about 40 pages over, I made it to chapter 35, and I continue to enjoy this story, the way it's written, the description, the characters, and I'm just so intrigued to see where it's gonna go. So I will continue on in this today. Time for last Sunday, I picked up my phone 35 times, which is amazing. So I only need to read 35 pages, which I should totally be able to accomplish. So I'll definitely go over, fingers crossed, unless I'm jinxing myself. But I also thought it would be kind of fun to go over some of the article with you very quickly. All thoughts and opinions are from this magazine. They are not my own. I have not researched them, but the text is from 𝒔𝒂𝒗𝒆. She's a journalist, and she said that she suddenly saw herself sitting there hunched over and scrolling from LinkedIn to Facebook onto X and back again. Time to strike a better digital balance, she thought. What does more time offline do for her? And I think that's the question. What can it do for you? What can it do for me? It's like an individual thing, but I really think it is about like just getting your time back. If you have problem with like comparison or jealousies, envy, things like that, I think it can really help to just get offline and get off your phone. So on page 13 of Flow, it says 7 questions to ask yourself. How can I use my phone as a tool instead of letting myself be used as a product? Can I leave my phone at home when I go for a walk or to the movies? Can I put my phone away at certain times of the day? Can I maybe sometimes switch to a phone that only allows me to make calls and send text messages? Can I make arrangements with housemates, family, or friends about putting our smart devices away for a few hours when we're all together? And are there any push notifications or messages that I can turn off? And can I banish the phone from my bedroom, for example, by putting an old-fashioned alarm clock next to my bed instead? So I think that is a good place to start with those questions, start thinking about those. And I've definitely already thought about them and processed this article. I need to go from page 220 to 255. I think I can do it, but I will check in with you tomorrow. Hello, happy Monday. It is day 3 of this project of reading for how many times I picked up my phone. And it's so fitting that I basically had a mental breakdown this morning because of how overwhelmed I feel with my online presence, from my YouTube channel to my podcast to my Patreon, book club obligations, just everything. It's so overwhelming, and I definitely need to strike a better balance, and I'm hoping this challenge brings me closer to some answers. I'm also a very like type A person, and I take on a lot of responsibility, and when I have new things to add to my to-do list, I don't necessarily get rid of the old things. I just keep piling things on to myself rather than striking that balance. So that's what we're learning to do in this video. And I think I just came to some realizations like this morning, but I'm here with an update. So yesterday I was reading Martha Hall Kelly's book, Martha's Vineyard Beach and Book Club, and I was supposed to read, how many pages? I was supposed to read 35 pages on Sunday because I picked up my phone 35 times the previous Sunday. And I managed to read 98 pages, which means I finished this and I absolutely loved it. I gave it 4 stars. It was just missing that 5-star feeling. I think the pacing was a little slow, but it is historical fiction, and typically historical fiction is a little bit slower for me. Also, there were some plot points that were a little bit predictable, but I liked the mystery, I liked the writing, I liked the characters, and yeah, so I gave this one 4 stars, and I will be talking more about it in my friend Wendy's book club at the beginning of September. So probably by the time you're seeing this video, that discussion will have already happened, so I will link it for you in the description box. But then I decided, what am I going to pick up next? And I decided on Silver Elite. This is chunky, but I am hoping to read it before the end of August. I was supposed to read Lord of the Flies, but I have read it before. It was going to be a reread, which I wanted to do, but when I actually picked it up and started reading it, I wasn't feeling it. So I decided to pick up this one instead, and I've been hearing a lot of good things about this one. It's like a dystopian fantasy. But yeah, I'm gonna try this one. I read 17 pages of it, so I really don't have that many thoughts right now. But it says it's gonna be dystopian romance series, but in this one, psychic gifts are a death sentence and there are rules to survival. Trust no one, lie to everyone, and whatever you do, don't fall for your greatest enemy. I will let you know more of my thoughts, but checking my pickups for last Monday, I had 57 pickups. So up from Sunday, 57 pickups. So I need to read to page 74. I'm keeping everything on this little sticky note so I can tell you all of my numbers at the end, but 74, I need to make it to page 74, but I have a very busy day, so I'm hoping I can make it there. I will check back in with you tomorrow and let you know if I was successful. Good morning. It is actually very early in the morning, but I wanted to share my pickups for last Tuesday. I picked up my phone 54 times, which means I need to read 54 pages today. Yesterday was challenging. I was very overwhelmed with work, obligations, just kind of everything culminated. I ended up working a straight 8-hour shift just to try to make a push and get a lot done, and I did. But I think this week and September are just going to be extremely busy for me, and I have to just buckle down every single day, which hopefully means less phone time. I did check my phone time yesterday versus 2 weeks ago. You will remember yesterday I had 57 pickups a week ago. Yesterday I think I had 56. It was less, but I'm surprised that I had that many pickups considering how busy I was. So I needed to read 57 pages yesterday, and I am currently still reading Silver Elite by Danny Francis. I don't have the dust jacket on here anymore, but I ended up reading more than that. I made it to chapter 14, page 126. So I read 109 pages yesterday. And again, I did not really get any reading done. I was worried I wasn't going to finish my pages, but last night around, I don't know, 6 or 7, I just sat down and just started reading, and that is what made me read as much as I did. I did try to read a little bit before. I think I read like a chapter before bed as well. I am enjoying this book much more now than I was in the first couple of chapters. It definitely has a lot to set up because you're in this like dystopian world where these people have like certain powers and stuff like that. And the government is like this dystopian type of government. And so you're trying to understand a lot of things. So I won't say it's info dumping necessarily, but you're getting a lot of information. But now that I'm in the story, I'm still learning things. I'm still getting more information, but I'm enjoying it more because we're more into like the meat of the story. 54 pages. Fingers crossed I can do it. I should be able to do it. I've done it every day so far. Good morning. I thought we could make some tea, grab an apple cider donut, and talk about Silver Elite, how I did yesterday, what I need to do today, and also just my general thoughts on the book. So I read a bunch yesterday. I definitely surpassed my goal. I needed to read 54 pages, and I ended up reading 135 pages. I think just because I'm really into the books that I'm reading during this challenge, because if I would have been reading something I read earlier in the month, I was just dragging through those books. So I guess it's good that I'm reading stuff that I'm really interested in, and I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to find out what's gonna happen next. If you don't know anything about Silver Elite, it kind of feels like Divergent. That's what it feels like. Some people have compared it to the Hunger Games. Slow your roll. It is not like the Hunger Games. Unless you think about like the government controlling its people and there being different sectors where people live, that's the only Hunger Games reference that I have seen. Everything else feels like Divergent because our main character has been taken to Silver Block and she's in a training program against her will. She doesn't want to be there, but she's training very much how, like, if you think Divergent, you know, taken away from their homes, train in different areas and see if they're, you know, elite enough. They're shooting, they're scaling buildings, there's like operative type stuff, but all the while she is hiding who she is because she has a certain power that the higher ups, or like, imagine the Hunger Games for a second, even though I said don't compare it, like the Capitol doesn't want people to have, but like she has it, you know what I'm saying? So it's very interesting. There's some things about this. There's one thing in particular that is so obvious that I just wanted to come out and say it so I can stop thinking about it in my head. But I'm really, really enjoying this. It is slightly fantasy because of the, like, not magic, but like the powers that she has and other people in this world have and stuff like that. But like, it's not like dragons and, you know, wizards and spells, and it's not that. It's not that. It's more like dystopian powers, government, you know, that sort of thing. But I'm really, really enjoying it. But let's talk about today and how much I need to read. Last Wednesday, I picked up my phone only 49 times, which is lower than it's been the few previous days. And I don't know why. I had like 10 fewer pickups than I did 2 days previously. I'm really not sure what it was about Wednesday that made me be off my phone more than other days. I guess I would have to do this over a long period of time, or like look at my pickups and kind of get like more data. I would need more data to make any guesses, but I need to read, what was it, 49 pages, and that means I need to make it to page 310, which is less than 50 pages. So I definitely think I'm gonna do it, considering I've been crushing it every single day. Plus, I have reading sprints with my patrons tonight. Wednesday evenings, I always have reading sprints with my patrons. Although, when Survivor starts on the 24th, I'll be going to Tuesday night reading sprints for a while. Then I'll go back to Wednesdays, because Wednesday is my comfort spot. But anyway, that's the update for today. It's a new day. It's time to talk about our pickups for Thursday of last week. I picked up my phone 40 times, which means I need to read 40 pages, which should not be a problem because I am absolutely devouring Silver Elite. Yesterday, I was trying to read 49 pages and I read 197 pages. Almost 200 pages yesterday. Unprompted. I was just in it. Plus, I had reading sprints with my patrons last night, so I always get some additional pages read during that. I will most likely finish this book off today and start something else. Not sure what I want to start, but I will let you know tomorrow. It's time to talk about what I finished and what I started, and if I accomplished my goal of reading as many pages as I picked up my phone last Thursday. So I picked up my phone 40 times. I ended up reading 80 pages yesterday. So I doubled the page count, okay? So I finished Silver Elite by Danny Francis, and I really, really enjoyed it. I'm gonna rate it 4 stars for now, but if I keep thinking about it, I can see me bumping my star rating up to a 5, at least a 4.5. I think it's truly a 4.5. I just don't think it has that 5-star feeling, but I can't wait for the second book, which is coming out in April or May, and it's called Broken Dove, and the cover is very similar, and I'm very, very excited, but it's over 600 pages. So yeah, I guess I've just turned into a book girly that reads big books, but I finished this one, really, really enjoyed it. Knocked out an over 500 page book during this challenge, and then I started this right before bed and read, so I read 60 pages in this, and then I read 20 pages in this, so that's how I got my 80 pages of the day. I only read the first chapter, so I don't have too many thoughts right now, but I will be doing an entirely separate reading vlog of this one over my Patreon, because I'm going to be talking about this on my podcast, Talk Bookish to Me podcast, which is always linked in the description box. But basically, I'm going to be discussing this with Brandon and Jules, and every time I do a book for discussion on my podcast, I do a reading vlog for that book as well for my patrons. So if you want to check that out, definitely check out my Patreon, which is linked down below. So today is officially the last day of the challenge, but I want you to stay tuned to see if I can complete the challenge for the last day. But I also just have some general thoughts about the challenge, about my phone and my pickups. And I also want to compare my pickups for the week that I did the challenge for versus my pickups for this week, the week that I actually did the challenge, and see which week had more. I'm gonna guess I picked up my phone more this week than I did last week. There's reasons. Stay tuned for all of that. That will be coming tomorrow in the wrap-up portion to see if I actually read my pages. But I picked up my phone last Friday 51 times, which means I need to make it to page 71 to complete the challenge. Hello, my beautiful friends. It is time to wrap up this challenge and go over all of the data from this past week, as well as my data from yesterday. So yesterday I went back a week for the last Friday, and I picked up my phone 51 times, so I had to read 51 pages, and at the time I was 20 pages into Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. I decided, so I would have to read to page 71. But I decided to go back to the very beginning and start over, because even though I read those 20 pages, I wanted to start a character list, and so I did that. So altogether, I ended up reading 152 pages. Really enjoying the book so far. I definitely have thoughts about the book, but I am sharing that for my patrons. I'm doing a Patreon exclusive reading vlog, but then I will be talking about it more in depth, spoilers, everything on my podcast on September 22nd. I'm having Brandon from Brand the Reader and Jules from Jules Books and Things on my podcast, because they are going to be reading and discussing it with me. So you can look out for that podcast episode. If you're one of my patrons, you can look out for a specific reading vlog of this book that might even be up before this video is up. But that's all I'm going to say about that. So I managed to accomplish my goal, beat the challenge if you will, by reading more pages each day than I picked up my phone, which is a good thing. I think this was a healthy way for me to like make sure I was reading every single day, because there are days sometimes that I just like let the day get away from me and I don't even pick up a book. But I did manage to read all of the books on my August TBR. I'm probably gonna finish this between like today and tomorrow, but if not, no worries, it was on my September TBR anyway. But yeah, I'm just really proud of myself for thinking about this challenge and making it a priority to think about my phone consumption, my social media consumption, and how many times am I reaching for my phone. Over the past week, I had reached for my phone 365 times and I read 921 pages. I feel very happy with that. Like I said, it motivated me to read every day, and I actually left my house several times without my phone. Today, my husband and I went out to Target, out to eat, and I just left my phone here. Yesterday, we took 2 long-ish walks, left my phone here. So there's definitely times that I'm just gonna like leave my phone behind for a little bit, maybe wait a little bit longer before I pick it up in the morning. So those are just little tips and tricks that kind of helped me think about my phone usage and, you know, my bored and just mindlessly scrolling, or my being productive on my phone. I do a lot of social media for my job: YouTube, my podcast, Patreon, Instagram. I have 3 different Instagram accounts: my Bookstagram, my podcast Instagram, and now a junk journal Instagram. I use my phone to record all of my reels and stuff. So I am using my phone for work, but that's the only thing I really want to use it for. I want to use it for work. I want to use it to check in with my friends, but not feel like I have to have my phone on me all the time and I have to respond right away to every single message that I receive. So I feel like I am starting to dip my toes into that healthy boundary with my phone again, which makes me very, very happy. So now the real test is, okay, so we looked at past data. Let's look at this past week. While I was doing this challenge, I want to look at the numbers. And I've already done that, and I'm kind of not surprised. I told myself I wasn't gonna like check the numbers until the end of the challenge because I wanted it to be a true representation of how much I picked up my phone. So I started the challenge on a Saturday, so I went back to the Saturday that I started the challenge. So the previous Saturday, I had picked up my phone 79 times, and that was when I was out of town. I was reaching for my camera a lot. But this past Saturday, I only picked it up 39 times, so it was down. Then on Sunday, I only picked up my phone 35 times, but then this past Sunday, I picked it up 52 times, so it was up. Then Monday it was down, Tuesday it was up, Wednesday it was up, Thursday it was up, and then Friday it was down. So I had 3 down days and 4 up days. Today already it is, let's see, it is 1:58 p.m. and I have picked up my phone 16 times already, so that's good. Also, I have started playing the tiny bookshop Switch game, and I'm obsessed and I love it. So I also think having that extra hobby that's off of my phone is going to get me to leave my phone down on the desk longer than if I wasn't playing that video game. So yeah, I completed the challenge. I'm thinking more about my phone consumption and picking up my phone and picking it up less specifically. But yeah, so let me know what you think about this challenge. Let me know if you think I should do the one where I read as many hours as I was on my phone. I'm scared for that challenge. I'm scared, but let me know if you'd like to see that in the comment section down below, and don't forget to let me know what your pickups look like throughout the week. But that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all having a lovely day or night, and I'll see you guys again in another video very soon. Bye friends.